Hi friends, so we will continue with our series on DPDP Act 2023. Please note that this is not a legal advice and should be used only for reference and educational purpose. So the Act defines data principal as the individual to whom the personal data relates. Now, example, Samir signs up for an online course. He provides his personal data like full name, his email ID, mobile number, payment details, etc. So, Samir is the data principal here. Why? Because the information belongs to him or it relates to him. Now, if the data, personal data belongs to a child, then who is the data principal? So the data principal will be the child, including the parents or lawful guardian. Example, now say Pooja's younger brother Aryan is a minor, some 10-year-old, and he wants to join a summer camp. Now since Aryan is a child, Pooja can act as his guardian. She fills out the registration form on his behalf and gives his personal data. So here, although the personal data belongs to whom? It belongs to Aryan, who is a child, but both Aryan and Pooja will be treated as data principals. Same way, if the data belongs to a person with disability, then data principal will be the lawful guardian acting on behalf of the person with disability plus the person with disability. Both will be treated as data principal. Example, say Samir is Ria's legal guardian, but she is visually challenged since birth. So when Ria wants to buy some tickets, right, of a show, Samir, who is her lawful guardian, he fills in her details and helps her in the purchase of tickets. So here, who will be the data principal? Not only Ria, it will be Ria and Samir both. What is data fiduciary? So data fiduciary is any person who alone or in conjunction with others determines the purpose and the means of processing of personal data. Say there is a healthcare clinic XYZ. Now it collects personal data of patients. And why it is collecting? What is the purpose it is determining? It is saying that I need to collect this data, personal data, for the treatment of that patient. So here it has determined the purpose of data processing. Then it will also determine the means of processing of personal data. So how that data is to be handled, how it is to be collected, how it is to be stored securely, all is decided by XYZ clinic. So here, although the personal data belongs to the patients, data fiduciary is the healthcare clinic XYZ in our example. Now, what is significant data fiduciary? So, significant data fiduciary means any data fiduciary or a class of data fiduciaries as may be notified by the central government under section 10. And based on what will be the central government deciding that this particular data fiduciary is a significant data fiduciary? It will depend on various factors like say volume of data processed, sensitivity of data processed, risk to the rights of data principal, potential impact on the sovereignty and the integrity of India, risk to electoral democracy, security of the state, public order, etc. So we'll try to just understand these factors with the help of an example. Now suppose if there is a website, a dummy name, Buy and Enjoy, that is collecting personal data from lots of users in India, right? So it is processing a huge volume of personal data, right? And there is lot of sensitivity of data being processed. So the central government may declare Buy and Enjoy as a significant data fiduciary. Now suppose if proper security measures are not in place and this personal data which Buy and Enjoy has collected gets leaked, then definitely it is a risk to the rights of the data principal. because someone may misuse that data. Then another example regarding the potential impact on sovereignty and integrity of data. So suppose there is a financial institution that collects huge amount of personal data and transaction data for Indian citizens. If this data falls into the wrong hands, then what it might happen is that it might affect the India's economic sovereignty and integrity. Example of risk to electoral democracy is that suppose if there is a consulting firm by the name of Electoral Net, which specializes in political campaign strategies. Now this firm collects and processes large amount of personal data, including voter preferences, demographic information, past voting behaviors from public and proprietary resources. The central government may declare ElectroNet as a significant data fiduciary because its data processing activities pose risk to the electoral democracy. These activities can potentially influence voting patterns and election outcomes through targeted political campaigning. Security of the state. Now suppose if there is a telecommunications company that manages critical infrastructure for communication networks. Now if the systems of such company are compromised, then it could disrupt the communication channels and it can compromise the security of the nation or the state. Public order factor. Now suppose if there is a car riding platform where you book the cars for locating you to a particular destination. Now if the data was to be misused or it is leaked, then malicious users can track what? It can track your location, they can track your movements, which can lead to potential safety concerns or civil unrest. Now, what is data processor? So, data processor means any person who processes personal data on behalf of the data fiduciary. Now, data fiduciary, we have already discussed that it decides the manner in which data will be processed. And data processor will act as per the instructions of the data fiduciary. Just to give you an example, suppose if there is a school, now it has to send out newsletter to students and parents, and it has collected information from the students. But it does not have, the system, the tools, or the time to do it themselves. So what they do is that they enter into an agreement with a printing company to handle the task of printing and dispatching the newsletters. But the school will be providing the names, addresses of students and parents, and also gives instructions to the printing company how to print, whom to email the newsletters, etc. So here the printing company is the data processor. It is not deciding anything. It is acting purely on the instructions of the school, and the school is the data fiduciary. Now, what is processing? Processing in relation to personal data means a wholly or partly automated operation or a set of operations performed on digital personal data. And it includes collection, recording, organization, structuring, storage, adaptation, retrieval, etc. We'll try to understand these terms with the help of an example. Now suppose if there is a fictional online retailer by the name of ShopFast, which uses digital personal data for its operations. So what ShopFast does is that it collects personal data of the customers when they sign up for an account, right? So that is the term collection. What is recording? This information is entered into the ShopFast customer database. Organization. Customer data is organized in the database by categories such as account number, purchase history, preferences. So data entries are automatically categorized by date of time of purchase. Structuring. So data is structured in a relational database that links customer numbers with their orders. Now the personal data is stored in a secure cloud that becomes storage. What is adaptation? Say the personal data can be easily adjusted to print a bill or a order, right? Or a payment summary, etc. What is retrieval? When a customer logs in, the data might be retrieved to provide a personalized shopping experience. Shopfast might use customer data to process orders, to manage accounts, and send notifications about new products and sales. Alignment or combination, say data from customer surveys are combined with what? With the purchase data, to refine the product recommendations and marketing strategies. What is indexing? Say I put an index on email address. Now suppose the customer types the email address. Then with the help of this parameter, it can easily find out that what purchase it has done. So all the retrieval of information is fast. Sharing. Now Shopify shares data with courier services to ensure the delivery of the products to the correct address. Disclosure by transmission. Shopify may send out newsletters and promotional materials via email to the customers. Otherwise making available example is customer reviews and ratings are made available on the Shopfast website for other customers to view. What is restriction? Customers can adjust their privacy settings to restrict how their personal data is used for marketing purpose or what data or feedback is available for use. Eraser. So when a customer closes the account, the data is no longer required, so it erases the personal data from the database where the data was stored. Destruction. So Shopfast uses secure deletion methods to permanently remove the customer data, which now is no longer required. Maybe because the customer has closed his account. Now, what is a consent manager? Consent manager is a person who is registered with the board, who is a single point of contact to enable data principal to give, manage, review, and withdraw her consent through an accessible, transparent, and interoperable platform. Example, say Arjun wants to use a new financial management app called MoneyMate. Now, before he starts using the app, he is introduced to an online dashboard, which is managed by whom? By the consent manager named Raj. This dashboard allows Arjun to easily give permission for the app to access specific financial data, manage which third parties can access his data, and revoke permissions if required. So Raj ensures that Arjun's preferences are all adhered to. So here Raj is the consent manager. What is automated? Automated any digital processes capable of operating automatically in response to the instructions given or otherwise for the purpose of processing data. Now suppose if we are using an email service, I create a rule in the email that all the emails which are coming from so and so bank should go to my personal finance folder. So what the email service will do is that once it receives the email from that bank, it will, based on the rules which are set, automatically put the mail in the my personal finance folder. So here there is no manual intervention. Everything is automated. What is appellate tribunal? Appellate tribunal means the Telecom Disputes Settlement and Appellate Tribunal established under Section 14 of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997. What is Data Protection Officer? Data Protection Officer means an individual which is appointed by the Significant Data Fiduciary. What is Digital Office? So Digital Office means an office that adopts an online mechanism wherein the proceedings are conducted in an online or digital mode. So friends, we will just try to understand this vis-a-vis the traditional office approach. Now, in case of traditional office, what is to happen is that when a person had to file a complaint, it had to go to the office or it had to send a postal mail. But now what happens in case of digital office is that person logs into the department website and submits the complaint through an online form. Now, how were reference or directions given in case of traditional office? So, reference documents or directions were printed and manually distributed. But now, all the directions or references are uploaded at a particular place in the system and linked to the cases. So, officers can just access those documents, right, and continue with their work. Appeals. So in a traditional office approach, what used to happen? Appeals were filed by visiting the office personally or sending the documents via postal mail. And then there were physical hearings. But now in digital office, what happens is that appeals are submitted online, documents are uploaded digitally, or an emails are sent, and hearings, if needed, are conducted via video conferencing. So friends, if you have really appreciated my lecture, then do like, subscribe and share to my channel. Thank you.